all continue to stand, we have a special presentation from the Saffel Street Singers with Miss Amy Kate Bright leading them. Thank you all very much.
We ought to start every meeting out with one of those groups. We ought to start every meeting out with that group.
Great job.
I call this regular scheduled board meeting into order. Can I get a motion to adopt the agenda?
Most adopt agenda, Scott Brown.
Second, Steve Carmichael.
With the first and second, can I get a roll call vote, please?
Yes, sir. Jason Collins?
Yes.
Scott Brown?
Yes.
Steve Carmichael?
Yes.
Sonny Fintrez? James Sargent?
Let the attendance report show that all board members are present. Can I get an approval of the minutes of the January 13th, 2025 regular scheduled board meeting?
Motion to approve, Steve Carmichael.
Second, Scott Brown.
With the first and second, can I get a roll call vote, please?
Yes, sir. Jason Collins?
Yes.
Scott Brown?
Yes.
Steve Carmichael?
Yes.
Sonny Fintrez? James Sargent?
Financial report.
Good evening. Overall, you'll see our revenue increased by 7.5%. The revenue increase is due in part to an increase in property tax of approximately $575,000 and interest on investments of about $99,000. SEEK for the month of January shows an increase of approximately $320,000 for the year, or about 4.5%. Our motor vehicle and utility taxes are flat for the year currently. Salary and benefit expenses show a decrease of 3.3% from the prior year. I've said this previously. We're able to fund some positions from grant funding, and then our retirement contributions for the classified personnel reduced by about 3%. Other non-salary expenditures saw a decrease of 7.2%. The biggest driver of that was school bus purchases. At this point last year, we had paid for 6 school buses. We've only paid for 2 this year. So that's pretty much the entire decrease is all attributable to school buses. That is all I have.
Thank you. Can I get a motion to accept the financial report?
Motion approved, Scott Brown.
Second, Steve Carmichael.
With the first and second, can I get a roll call vote, please?
Yes, sir. Jason Collins?
Yes.
Scott Brown?
Yes.
Steve Carmichael?
Yes.
Sonny Fintrez? James Sargent?
Orders of the treasurer.
Any questions regarding the orders?
No questions.
If no questions, can I get a motion to approve?
Motion approved. Order of Treasurer, Scott Brown.
Second, Steve Carmichael.
With the first and second, can I get a roll call vote, please?
Yes, sir. Jason Collins?
Yes.
Scott Brown?
Yes.
Steve Carmichael?
Yes.
Sonny Fintrez? James Sargent?
Superintendent's report.
I'd like to welcome everyone and thank you for being here. Didn't our Saffel Singers do such a great job? We're so very proud of our Saffel Singers, and to come and perform at a minute's notice, they did a pretty good job with that national anthem. So heard one of our board members say we should start every board meeting like that. I think I agree with them. So we'll try to get our next elementary group. I think Mr. Alexander and or Ms. Slusher, you all can see if the music teacher will be prepared and ready for next month's meeting. But it's always a pleasure to see so many students and parents and staff here tonight. We have 3 different groups that I'd like to recognize prior to recognizing our guests that are here tonight. Last week, February the 3rd to the 7th was Counselor Appreciation Week, and we're very blessed across our district to have some of the absolute best counselors serving our students and our staff every single day. Anderson County High School has Anna Dean, Cindy Miracle, and Ashley Kays. Anderson County Middle School has Rachel Baker and Katie Norris. ECC has Logan Young. Robert B. Turner has Amy Riley. Saffel Street has Catherine Klaus, and Emma B. Ward has Kristen Barker. So if you see these amazing people, either in school or around in the community, please stop them, thank them, and let them know just how grateful we are for each and every one of them. Please, let's give them a round of applause for their service. If you haven't heard, this week, February 10th through the 14th, is Family Resource and Youth Center Coordinator Week. And we're very blessed to have 4 coordinators serving our district as well. They are very committed to ensuring that our students and our families' needs are met. They go above and beyond. You see them around day and or night, and a lot of times on the weekends. And they're very dedicated to our students and our families, and we're super grateful to have them doing all the things that they do for our school community. Ms. Mackenzie Beasley serves Sparrow Early Childhood Center and Emma B. Ward. Ms. Crystal Crouch serves Anderson County High School. Ms. Nicole Hitchner serves Anderson County Middle School, and Mrs. Megan Riley serves Saffel Street and Robert B. Turner Elementary Schools. Please, let's give them a round of applause for their awesome service as well. Again, if you see these ladies, please stop them, thank them for the things that they do for our children, our families, our school community, and or everyone across the district. You may or may not know, but every year we have the opportunity to really shine with our school resource officers. We're blessed. I know we have one in the room, maybe. No, he's out there. Officer Evans is out there, but February the 14th through the 17th is National School Resource Officer Appreciation Day. This year it happened to fall on the weekend, which is a little bit odd. So if you see the 7 men who come in every single day to protect and serve and help us lead our schools in safety, please make sure you give them a big thank you. We are super grateful that our board invests in the safety of our students and our staff, and we're able to have not just 6, not just 1 per campus, but 7, 1 per campus, and then an extra one in case we need additional support. So we're super blessed to have 7 amazing men who come on in. Come on in, yes, there he comes. You got here just in time, Officer Evans. Let's thank him, please. You don't know this, but Friday through Monday is National School Resource Officers Recognition and Thanks. So I knew you were out there, and I just wanted to have you come in to get recognized. Anderson County High School has Lieutenant Tony Likens as well as Officer Todd Evans. Anderson County Middle School has Officer Jamie Dunn. ECC has Officer Alan Culver. Robert B. Turner has Officer B.J. Crane. Saffel Street has Officer Philip Crane, and Emma B. Ward has Officer Chris Atkins. Let's give them another round of applause and thank them as well. If you happen to have some pictures or some awesome stories about any of those groups, our counselors, our FRC coordinators, and or SROs, if you want to shout them out on social media, I'm sure they would love to see all the amazing things that can be said about them, and with the appropriate hashtags, I know that they would appreciate that. And if you happen to see them again, just thank them for their service and all that they do for our students, our staff, and our school community. Tonight I have a very special group. I'm excited to have our Anderson County Middle School football program with us. If you're a part of the Anderson County Middle School football program, please just stand up. All right. There we go. So tonight, come on down, Coach Holloman. We're going to have our young men stand up, but just before we do, I have another recognition, Coach Holloman. Brian Holloman is a Kentucky Middle School State Hall of Fame member. Has been a coach for Anderson County Middle School for 23 years. He doesn't know we're doing this, so he's a little bit surprised tonight. So if you would please step out here front and center so we can all see you, that would be amazing. So every now and then you come to recognize a few of your favorite coaching staff and favorite young men that you get to serve and lead, but tonight we're going to talk about you first. Again, Brian Holloman is a Kentucky Middle School State Hall of Fame member. He has been a coach for Anderson County Middle School for 23 years. He spends countless hours of his time devoting to this program. His coaches and players wanted to express their appreciation for Coach Holloman at tonight's board meeting. Here are a few things his players, coaches, and colleagues had to say about Coach. First, a few things from the coaches. I was lucky enough to coach with Brian for 3 years in addition to working with him in the youth league. Brian is an excellent coach. He has those rare qualities that make him able to relate to players and get the most out of them at the same time. In today's game, you have to be able to build relationships with your players to maximize their potential. It's not just about the X's and the O's. He cares. You can tell it by the way he coaches. He wants the absolute best for his team and players. Regardless of the skill level, he invests his time and effort into making them the best that they can be. His style of coaching combines the responsibilities of being a great player and an even better young man. His post-game speeches speak of the game, but also relate game situations to real life. He instills character in his players so that one day they will not only be outstanding players, but also incredible men. Coach Davey McCann. Another one of your coaches. Some of the best times in my life were coaching with Coach Holloman. The bond he has with his players and coaches is exceptional. Thank you, Brian, for all that you do for our community. You truly are a Hall of Fame coach, Coach Sean Black. Coach Holloman is a great coach, friend, father, and all-around good guy. He goes above and beyond for our program. Ordering everything, passing out equipment, working with parents, finding games for us, ordering buses, getting game film, and breaking it down for scouting reports, and also coordinating everything with all the coaches. It is an extreme honor to be learning from him. Coach Dupree Gill. Brian Holloman is one of the finest leaders, coaches, and men and educators I have met in a lifetime of public education and a high school football coach. He has the ability to love the unlovable and communicate with people from all walks of life. In our 2 years working together, I've never presented him a challenge that he did not greet with a smile and enthusiasm. Brian Holloman cannot, capital all cap letters, be defeated. Coach David Buchanan. Each of the players were asked what makes Coach Holloman a great coach and what he has done to help you be a better person on and off the field. He's always very positive and supportive, Sawyer Darnell. He always listens when I ask him something, and when he always worked with me when I was struggling, Hudson Hatfield. He's a nice guy who supports you no matter what, Johnny Whitnell. He always listens to you when you're going through things, and he always helps you on and off the field. He always encourages me to do better, Rylan Lucas. He always has been supportive and encouraging and has always inspired me to be the best that I can be. He has taught me everything I know, Cole Gunnels. He's really helpful and encouraging and always pushes you to your limits, Andre Brown. He always tries to get you to do the right thing no matter what, He has always taught me to keep trying and never give up. Colin Holloman. Let's give Coach a great big round of applause. I'm gonna ask the players if you all would come. We have a special gift for Coach Holland. Can y'all walk this way? And I'm gonna ask you all to give him this special gift. Do the honors. All right, Coach. They have a special gift for you. All right. And so if we could have all of the student athletes stand around your coach there. All right, all of our coaches, y'all want to come up as well? Stand with your young men, your kids. Come on up. No, come on up. Supervision Superstar. All right, you got a good picture? All right. So Coach Holloman has a couple of recognitions he would like to do tonight as well. All right, they get to go back and sit down now. All right. Excuse me.
Thank you for that. I don't think I'm, can you hear me in the back? I don't think I need a mic, do I? Okay, I'll do it. All right. Okay, that's fine. Let me do this. Obviously, thank you for that. Love what I do, so. Thank you for the opportunity to be here tonight. I reached out to Ms. Mitchell, and she was more than gracious to say, sure. I had some guys come up here. I wanted to recognize some of them for all their hard work, and I talked to Coach Buchanan, and he gave me a name as well, so we're going to recognize him as well. He couldn't be here tonight because it's his daughter's birthday, so he said, you take care of it. I said, well, thanks, thanks, Coach. But first, I'm going to start with some of our 7th graders, and so I'll just go from there. And all 4 of these 7th graders, we're a part of what's called the Kentucky Middle School Football Association, and all 4 of these guys were nominated and were honorable mention, Player of the Year award winners or recipients, so we're going to take time to recognize them. So starting first is going to be Andre Brown, and I have a certificate for you, so come on up. Once I give you your certificate, just stay up here so they can all clap for you again. So, thank you. Okay, you can go sit over there. So Andre was also named our defensive line, JV defensive line award winner, and I look forward to getting him back next year. Obviously, look at him; he's a beast. So we're super excited. Thank you. The next is Colin Holloman. Colin's, well, my son, so super proud of him, but he's our quarterback, and he was our offensive player of the year, so super excited to get him back and get to coach this bunch for their 8th grade year. So next is Sawyer Darnell. Thank you. Sawyer, he was our defensive player of the year for our JV team, and he's also the son of my assistant coach, Seth Darnell. So we really love this group. We're super excited to see what they do next year. Our last 7th grader is Rylan Lucas. You all just slide down that way. Rylan, unbelievable talent. Super excited to get him back as well, and he was our overall MVP for our JV team. So, obviously, just looking at him, you know why I'm excited. Hey, slide down a little more, guys, for me. Thank you. All right, we'll move on to our 8th graders. I think all but one. I think one's not here, so I'll go ahead and that's Johnny Whitnell. He was not able to make it tonight, so y'all give him a round of applause anyway. So, he was our varsity defensive player of the year, so he's a beast, and I know Coach Buchanan is super excited to see what he can do with him. So I'm excited to see him get out on the field and be there on Friday night. So come out and watch him. Our next young man is Mr. Cole Gunnels. He played receiver for us and DB for us, and had not played a whole lot of football. So we had him last year and this year, and we're going to miss him a ton. But he was our Sportsmanship and Attitude Award, the nicest kid, and just super great attitude, and came to work each and every day. So we're going to miss him for sure. But Coach Buchanan is lucky to get him as well. Our next young man was our Lineman of the Year Award winner, and that's Mr. Bucky Hunter. Like I said, he played line for us on both sides of the ball, so we're going to miss him, but his future is bright for him as well. All right, our last middle school young man here was Mr. Hudson Hatfield. What can I say? He was our MVP everywhere, all over the field. He was our offensive MVP for the year. Could play anywhere on the football field, and he was also the recipient of the Seth Carnahan Coaches Award that I give every year. So, just to the young man that just stands out and just goes above and beyond for everything. So, and we give that in honor of Seth Carnahan, who passed away. So. All right, here's our middle school. We'll give them one more round of applause. All right, moving on. Like I said, Coach Buchanan couldn't be here, so I sent him. I said, "Hey, I want to recognize some of our young men at the board meeting. Is there anybody that you would like to recognize?" And he sent me one name. So, and that's Mr. Will Rohde. Come on up here. So I can brag about you. Here's the thing, Will played for me, and if you came to a game this year, if you didn't get to see him this year, you missed a show, okay? So this young man was anything and everything you could be on a football field, okay? And he's just as good of a young man off the football field, okay? So I'm going to read off a few of his accolades just from his senior year. So, number one, he led the Bearcats in tackles. So he had over 100 tackles, I think 9 for loss. So there's one thing. He also led the Bearcats in rushing. So he had over 800 yards rushing, scored 14 touchdowns rushing. I think he had 150 yards receiving and a couple touchdowns doing that as well. And he also led the team in scoring with almost 100 points for the year. Okay, he was all over the place, and teams knew they had to game plan to make sure they took him out. So, but they couldn't do it most of the time. He was also named first team All-District, and he was also named honorable mention, Courier Journal All-State. So, just to name a few. Now, if these other things are wrong, I'm sorry. Just go with it. Okay, so. He scored a 33 on the ACT, and he's going to be attending Western Kentucky on an academic scholarship. Is that all correct? All right, just go with it. So, but we're just super excited. We hate for him to go, because he's just such a role model for all young men and women and everybody. So we're going to miss you, but good luck with everything. Congratulations on a great career. All right. I think that's it. Everybody, thank you all. I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you all.
Ms. Mitchell, could I just say something real quick? Before Coach leaves, I'd just like to say, as a parent who happened to have our kids impacted by Coach Holloman and Coach Black, our kids were blessed. You're a high-character person. The kids in our community are fortunate to have you. Not only are you that, but you're a great coach. You're great with interacting with kids. You gave our middle one, as a 7th grader, the opportunity to change plays at the line of scrimmage, and that built his confidence to an enormous level, because most folks would have looked at him and said, that kid can't play quarterback. But he turned out to be fairly decent. But you gave him a lot of confidence as a quarterback to be able to play. Not many 7th graders get a chance to change plays at the line of scrimmage when their coach has already called the play. So I appreciate very much as a parent the impact that you've had on our kids, not just ours, but on other kids in this community. So thank you very much. Thank you.
I'll give it just a second. Next up is comments from visitors. We have only one name, Dr. Anissa Penn Davis.
Hi, waiting for Brian to leave the room. So my name is Dr. Anissa Penn Davis. I am the president of the Anderson County Education Association, and I have the honor to work with Brian Holloman every single day, and just the impact that man has on kids is just extraordinary. I learn so much from him every day. When you were mentioning counselors, did you mention the Apex counselor? That's okay. I was answering an email, and I even asked Brian, I'm like, did she say Kim?
Oh, well, we have an amazing.
So our Apex counselor, Kim Jennifer, goes above and beyond. That woman doesn't have boundaries where it comes to kids. She is there for them 24/7. And when I say that, I mean these kids will text her at 2 in the morning. She doesn't answer, but they will text her at 2 in the morning if something's going on. Those kids just love her, and she's just amazing. She's a great asset at Apex. It is February. I don't normally talk about money in February, but I know Mr. White is doing some draft budgets. I just want to throw a couple of numbers out at you. 3.25 is a nice number. 350 is a nicer number. 4 is an excellent number. Just throwing some out there. So there was that. And then the last thing I wanted to mention is Ms. Mitchell is in a very difficult position on days like today. Calling an NTI day, calling a snow day is one of the most difficult things I think a superintendent can do in their job, and Mr. Fentress knows this. It's a no-win situation. You're not going to please everybody, but today, and I was telling Ms. Mitchell this before, and I really struggled on whether or not mentioning this in a public forum, but I am. At 3:47 today on my drive home, I got the phone call that we were on NTI. Anybody who's paying attention to the weather knew that we weren't going to be in person. I mean, it just wasn't going to happen. By the time I got home, social media had shared the post from the Anderson County School Facebook page, and the negative comments had already started. And it just blew my mind because, when I think of safety, my first instinct are my children. Of course, my children are 33 and 30, but, are my kids. When it comes to schools, Ms. Mitchell's first concern are the 4,000 kids that we have in this district, not just the school bus drivers, but the high school drivers. It's February. Do you know how many new drivers we've had just in the last 8 weeks? The parking lot fills up. This is how you can tell when kids have gotten their 6-month license, because the parking lot starts to fill up. And so when those times are called, those are what's in the forefront of a superintendent's mind. And it bothers me that it's a no-win situation because it's safety first. It's part of our motto. And I hate the fact that people push back on that. No, the snow's not here yet. Yes, it's been 40-some degrees, but it's not going to be 40 degrees at 6 a.m. tomorrow when everything is scheduled to hit. So I just want to get that off my chest. So thank you for everything you do. I know it's not an easy decision.
Thank you.
Can I just add one more comment there? For folks, if they would just get the opportunity to ride one of those school buses here in Anderson County just one time, and some of the roads that those drivers have to manage to maneuver, if they were just in the bus by themselves, but let alone putting kids on there, some of the places where they have to stop and back into a driveway to turn around. It's really a very difficult job. There are two jobs I think are really tough: substitute teacher and bus driver. I don't really desire to have either one of those anymore, but it's tough, and it's a tough call to make. And again, if you could just have the opportunity to ride a bus one time on a snow day or a snowy day or the slightest slick day, I think maybe our attitudes about that would change. But you're right, it's a tough call. No matter how you toss it, there are going to be folks that are going to disagree with the decision, but it is safety first, and if we all think about that, sometimes it's a little bit easier to swallow. Anyway. Can I say one more thing? Just
Go right ahead.
like, not me, but I need to say this. This has nothing to do with snow or buses or whatever. I know I can kind of speak for all of us, but I don't know how to thank folks for board meeting appreciation. I don't know how any other school board could be treated any better than we are in January for board member appreciation. It's a lot of additional work on a lot of folks. Ms. Mitchell, Marcia, our principals, folks at central office. There's so many people involved, folks that do business with the district who are kind enough to send a card, a note, or something. I don't know how we could be treated any better than we're treated. And I think we honestly are humble in the opportunity to serve, so we're not looking for appreciation. We do appreciate respect, but we're not looking to necessarily be appreciated for the jobs that we do. But I don't know, again, how anybody could be treated better than we are by the folks in this community. So I guess I'm just saying on behalf of all of us, thanks to everybody who had a part in board member appreciation, because we're treated exceptionally well for five guys that they just simply want to be public servants. So thank you all very much, and I won't be speaking again tonight.
Next up, we have construction updates.
Good evening. As far as construction at Anderson County Middle School, there are a few items that are still outstanding. We're working on getting corrected with the contractors. We've been working through some issues at the front, the main secure entry vestibule. There is a issue with one of the doors, the main entry door. It is not closing properly. We've been working with them on getting that. Right now, it latches, everything works fine, but it is not fully closing to the extent that it should. At the top of the door, if you walk by and look at it, it is out and ajar at the top. We're working with the contractors to get them back, to get all that corrected. I should have a better update from Ms. Mitchell here within the next couple days on that. They were going to give me an estimate. First, they were going to have somebody come by and look at it to see about getting it fixed, whether it's going to have to entirely come out or whether they can just correct the door. The other remaining issues at at Anderson County Middle School right now, outside of construction, but the commissioning of all the HVAC units, that's still all ongoing. That will be ongoing for a little while. That's going on right now. And then we've got the change order that was adding the SRO door. We're waiting on the delivery of that door, and the light that was added at the exterior of the secure entry vestibule. Again, I will have some more firm dates for Ms. Mitchell here in the next couple of days, but my expectation and what I was previously told was that they would be here by the end of February. So I can have a firm date here in the next day or two, but that is it for Anderson County Middle School. As far as I'm aware, the Saffel Street, I think we're pretty much wrapped over there. There are 3 closets that were scheduled, and I think they were just overlooked during the construction over the summer. We're going to get that squeezed in over a weekend. But there are 3 closets in janitorial closet areas. The floors were scheduled to be removed, and new floors were going to be installed in those closets. I'm working with the contractors to get those out, get them out there on a Saturday to get that removed, and then maybe the next Saturday following up, have the new floors installed. outside of that, that's all I've got for those two projects. I think we have a change order on the agenda or a couple of change orders on the agenda to discuss. Scott, so the change orders that we have to present were for power metering that was requested to be added to the electrical equipment for the gear. That was, do you want to? Yeah.
Power metering for both Saffel Street and the middle school to the control system, the front-end control system, so that it can be observed through the front end, the control system. And that's just metering of the electrical usage for the building as an entirety. So if think your KU meter says you've used X amount of kilowatt hours over the course of the day, that's just going to read out on the front-end control system is what that is.
So there are two change orders that go with that, 8-3 in the amount of $11,001, and then change order 9-6 in the amount of $1,195. Is that correct? Yeah. Any questions regarding that?
Can I get a motion to approve the project BG 23-130 change order 8-3 and change order 9-6?
Motion to approve, Steve Carmichael.
Second, Scott Brown.
With first and second, can I get a roll call vote, please?
Yes, sir. Jason Collins?
Yes.
Scott Brown?
Yes.
Steve Carmichael?
Yes.
Sonny Fintress? James Sargent?
I just was going to comment on the Saffel Street cafeteria project. There is still outstanding a key core. The last report, I talked to Eric with B&R Construction. That's supposed to be delivered directly to the school on the 18th of February, and they will install it as needed. So that's still outstanding.
Is that the last thing for the Saffel Street?
That is the last thing.
Thank you, Suzanne.
Next is the construction pay estimate number 15. Consideration to approve payment summary number 15 in the amount of $118,816.27 to the following vendors for the Anderson County Middle School, Saffel Street Elementary project 23-130. That's Grayhawk Incorporated, Central Kentucky Sheet Metal, Total Power Electrical, Rising Sun Development, and Codell Construction with, again, total amount of $118,816.27.
Motion to approve, Scott Brown.
Second, Steve Carmichael.
With a first and second, can I get a roll call vote, please?
Yes, sir. Jason Collins?
Yes.
Scott Brown?
Yes.
Steve Carmichael?
Yes.
Sonny Fintress? James Sargent?
Payment to Ross Tarrant Architects. Consideration to approve a payment to Ross Tarrant Architects in the amount of $1,823.89 for professional services for Anderson County Middle School, Saffel Street Elementary Project BG 23-130. Can I get a motion to approve?
Motion to approve, Steve Carmichael.
Second.
With a first and second, can I get a roll call vote, please?
Yes, sir. Jason Collins?
Yes.
Scott Brown?
Yes.
Steve Carmichael?
Yes.
Sonny Fintress? James Sargent?
Anderson County High School School Improvement Plan.
Good evening, guys. I'm going to go over a little bit of Anderson County High School, talk to you guys a little bit about our goals, some of the great things at ACHS. I do want to start by seconding what Ms. Davis said. Ms. Jennifer is an outstanding resource for us. I had the privilege to work with her, and she's fabulous at what she does. Very true. And also, I did have the privilege to work with Mr. Holloman for quite a few years on the football field, and there's not a better teacher, instructional, just he makes sure that kids get it, and he makes sure every kid is totally cared about. I will say, Steve, it was really easy working with your two. They were exceptional young men, and you could tell that they love football. So,
You made sure to point out that they get their looks, brains, and athletic ability from their mother. So I agree with that.
I wasn't going to say anything, but
So I
it
agree
was,
with it. I know the truth.
I thought that was a foregone conclusion.
Well, I thought so.
Similar to mine, yes.
There you go.
Our mission statement is to care for all students, to engage them in learning, and to prepare them as responsible college and career-ready citizens. This is what we live by daily. Our culture exhibits that. We just had a Kentucky Center for School Safety audit this past about a week and a half ago, and just in my first initial interview with the leader, Wes Cornett, his basic statement was, you can tell when you walk into a building what you're going to get. And he said, I can tell within the first 5 minutes when I walked into your building, I knew this was going to be a good day. He said, that's just the way things work in this. He said, you can tell the culture, you can tell the environment, you can tell the way the kids are. And that made me feel really proud of our teachers and what we do at ACHS. Just us at a glance, and I won't read everything, but we have roughly 1,147 students at this particular point in time. Again, there's a breakdown of our ethnicities in the school building: 87 white, 6.6 Hispanic, 3.52 or more, 2.2 African American, and 0.7 Asian. And then we have roughly 63 classroom teachers. This is including our math coach as well. We have 4 paraeducators, 4 school counselors, school psychologists, 4 secretaries, bookkeeper, and attendance clerk, Frisky, school nurse, social worker, SRO, 2 at times. Sometimes he's out on loan, but we have 2 a lot of the times, which is awesome for a school of our size, and 13 certified staff, custodian, cafeteria workers. So I'm blessed. I just have wonderful staff to work with, and it makes my job coming to school every day. It doesn't seem like it's a job really at times. Opportunities at ACHS. I want to talk to you about all the opportunities our kids have, and then I'm going to go into our goals for this year. We have a world-renowned advanced placement program, and I will talk to you guys a little bit about that, but our kids score well. With the introduction of dual credit, most AP programs, especially in rural schools, kind of dissolved a little bit. Ours has not dissolved. It stayed just as strong as it always was. And that is kudos to our teachers that do the job in the classroom. Our kids know that they can go into advanced placement class, and even though it's a more difficult class, they know that they're going to be prepared. They can pass the test and still earn the college credit, so they're not scared to do so because the rates are there and they see that the passing rate is high enough that they're going to do that. It also shows, and I think this is a credit, and I didn't put any of this in here, but I think I showed it to you guys maybe last year. I can't wait for new data to come out. How well our kids do at the next level in post-secondary education. Our students outscore other kids from other schools, and I'm giving a lot of the credit to the advanced placement program when it comes to GPA, when it comes to credits earned, and when it comes to graduation completion. So they're getting the job done in the classroom, and I think that's because they're pushed at a high level, and they know that they're going to be successful through this program. Also, our dual credit program with BCTC primarily and a few other colleges, but we've really vamped that up. Career and technical education, and then our Trailblazer Academies, and then ACHS, we are definitely known for our arts clubs and, of course, our athletics. So all those great opportunities there. Going to start with the advanced placement program. We actually offer 19 different AP courses at ACHS. This is compared to Franklin County, who has 9, and Woodford County, who has 15, and Mercer County's 11. So we offer a plethora of AP classes and give our kids world-class opportunities. Our AP classes allow us to earn college credit throughout their high school career and prepare students for the rigor and responsibility of college courses, and that's what I spoke to. Those kids are being prepared, and they're going out and achieving at high levels. 14 of our 19 AP courses had pass rates above the national average. 15 of our 19 AP courses had pass rates above the state average. So we want to get that to where it's 19 out of 19, but that's pretty daggone good numbers right there. I'll take them. Just to show you guys a little bit of data here, this is kind of where we went from total AP students over the year. So you can see from 2020 to 24, there has been a slight dip, but if you look at the number of exams, it still stayed fairly high overall. And the number of students scoring, even though our numbers have gone down, our pass percentage has gone up, and we are passing more exams. In 2020, so what have we done? We've improved our programs, basically. In 2020, we had 168 students score 3+. Last year, we almost broke the 200 mark. So hopefully this is a year we have more than 200 kids break that mark. And to me, the biggest benefit for families is the money. So you can look at the money saved at $346 per credit hour over the last several years. Last year, over $200,000. But if you look over the last 5 years combined, you're probably up around $1 million. I didn't do the math. But quite a bit of money that's been saved during that time. Dual credit. We have 3 teachers at ACHS that offer in-house dual credit through BCTC, English 101 and 102, Biology 112, 113, and History 109. We take a stair-step approach to dual credit for our students to ensure success and maintain a high GPA. The one thing when we get into dual credit is we want to make sure kids are going to be successful. We don't want to, this is their college coursework, and we've been asked about freshmen, so we keep it at the junior level. They earn a lot of college credit in 2 years, and a lot of kids come out with an associate's degree before they ever enter into high school. So I'm kind of, the thing is, how early is too early, because so they're being successful, and that's what we want. We want to see our kids be successful. We want to set them up for success. We have greatly expanded our dual credit options in the past 3 years, while also increasing safety for students. So one of the things we've worked with Ms. Mitchell, Mr. Harley, and BCTC, and our transportation department. I can't say enough about the transportation department because they pick students up, take them to and BCTC every day. We have a one-in, one-out situation instead of kids leaving every period and coming back and it kind of being a free-for-all on campus. We've really tightened up our safety procedures, which has been a really big help. You can see dual credit courses. So in 2023-24, we offered 48, up from 32 as opposed to 2 years ago. The number of students taking dual credit has steadily increased, and that is good. That is what we want to see. Data shows that if students get started in high school with some dual credit coursework, they are more likely to complete at least an associate's degree or further their post-secondary education. And then lastly, you can see the amount of credits earned last year. We earned over 1,400 credits through dual credit, which was an estimated savings of over $500,000 for families. So that is huge. CTE and Trailblazer, we have Family and Consumer Services, Early Childhood Education, Teaching and Learning, Fashion and Interior Design in our Family and Consumer Services pathways. We also have Horticulture, Animal Science Systems, Ag Power and Construction in our agriculture courses. Civil Engineering, Aerospace Engineering, Electronics Engineering, and Network Security. And we have future additions to hopefully open up a Fire Science, and we are still looking at Cadet Corps, possibly a JROTC program. So we're wanting to get all these in place. I just feel like the more opportunities you have for students, just the better. They want opportunities. They want those opportunities. And I realize we are a high school, but we're going to continue to try to grow and better ourselves. Trailblazer pathways, we offer auto mechanics, electrical, carpentry, health science, welding, and machine tool. And we have approximately 70 students currently enrolled in the Trailblazer program. So lots of kids taking lots of different things. And then arts clubs and athletics. One of the things, and I hear a lot of times schools cutting funding for arts and different things of that nature. I think it's one of the things that makes Anderson County unique. If you've never been to a band, chorus, concert, any of the events we have with the musicals, plays, it's like you're going on Broadway. And I hate to say it, but every time I go in there, I get chills because they're so good. They're just that good. And the job our teachers do, working with them and training them, it just sets them up for whatever they want to do after high school. We have a variety of both visual and performing arts marching band, concert band, various ensembles, advanced choir, drawing, painting, and ceramics, which comes into some of our AP coursework. Currently have 24 athletic teams that compete each year in KHSAA competition, and approximately to 20 to 25 clubs for students to join each year. We actually added 2 this year, which was a debate, and my personal favorite, the math club. So, and we had a student that qualified yesterday. We may bring him actually in. He won a big went to the next round of a big competition, math competition that's nationwide. So what are our goals for this year? And I'm going to hit on our big ones. Our big chunks are math, reading, and our post-secondary readiness, guys. So we have a lot, but that's about half of our score on our accountability score. So math-wise, we wanted to decrease our novice from 28.38 to 25 for this year and increase our proficient distinguished from 41.4 to 43. I know those are small increments, but you're based each year on what your students do compared to the year before. I like growth better, and we're going to work towards that, I think, with our with the new folks that are in down there, our new commissioner. And then reading, we wanted to decrease our novice from 20.1 to 18 and increase proficient distinguished from 51.9 to 53. And increase our post-secondary readiness indicator score from 98.3 to greater than 100 for this year. So basically, we wanted to make sure that we met everybody's needs. You do get some bonus in that, but I'll talk a little bit about that. So the strategies that we wanted to use to do that was quality control. One of the things you guys have heard from multiple schools is taking a look at our standards, taking a look at our pacing guides. Is what we're doing aligned to the standard? Are our assessment lines to our standards? And are we teaching the level of the standard to our students? So that's the first big piece. Revamped our MTSS plan. We have a big focus on Tier 2 instruction. Right now, I get to currently teach math on Thursdays and Fridays for 2 periods a day each day, and I love it. I'm not gonna lie. So I've gotten to get back in the classroom, but I'm actually helping with our Tier 2 intervention program and what we're doing for MTSS for math. So it's been a pleasure for me to be able to do that and work with the kids, and I'm getting to meet the kids on a different level. They think it's kind of neat. I think they don't know whether or not I know math when I first walk in there, and they're like, he actually kind of knows what he's doing. So it works out. And then lesson focus on active engagement and discussion. We want to make sure that daily our kids are active and have active engagement, and they're using discussion techniques in the classroom. Our data team process, we want to make sure that we're following our kids, looking at our data, and we know our data inside and out and know which kids we're looking to move and what they need individually. And then an intentional walkthrough plan. I actually got a great idea from one of our colleagues in our PLC to kind of do some upgrade what we were doing with our collegial visits and having some folks see each other in the classroom. I think that's going to make a big impact too. So where we are currently at right now, reading currently, our current percentage, we're at 21.7 novice, and what I did was kind of put this in a plus minus for you. So we are still a little bit behind in reading at this point in time of where we want to be. We're halfway, so it's a halfway goal. We are ahead of where we were to start the year, but we're a little bit behind where we want to be. We still need to cut some more novice. As you can see, we're minus 11 in that category. Our proficient is 32.4, and our distinguished is 19.1, which puts us at a total of 51.5. Our goal is 53%, so we still need to move a few more students in that area. I guarantee you we have them identified. We're going to be talking about them on Wednesday at our data team meetings. The one thing I would like to point out, student proficiency has increased 15.5% over the last year and a half with these students, though. So they've grown 15.5% in proficient and distinguished. And I was kind of shocked. I did the math twice because I thought I messed up. You'll see at the bottom of this one as well, the math have actually grown by 15.5% as well. So that kind of shocked me, but I double-checked my math twice just to make sure. Math, we are seeing huge gains in math. I think it does probably help that we have 3 administrators who are former math teachers, so we're able to kind of pull those resources a little bit. If I have a math teacher out, I usually try to go into a classroom and teach a couple of periods a day, kind of because I enjoy it and kind of because it needs to be done. But either way, you can see our novice goal for this year was under 25%. We're actually down to 21.4% right now. So we've achieved our goal, and we're going to look to go higher in that area. Proficient, distinguished, our goal was 43%, and we are currently sitting at 43.5%. So now we're looking, how can we expand that? How can we do a little bit better and move more students up? And again, this group has grown tremendously over the past 2 years. I'm very proud of them. They're definitely a challenging group at times, but they, needless to say, but they work hard, and there's a lot of personality in this group, a lot of personality. Post-secondary readiness. So post-secondary readiness is a little bit hard to, because people all throughout the entire school year, kids are getting post-secondary ready. Whether they're meeting benchmarks on, a lot did as juniors. So right now we are setting at 237. Now our goal is 100 plus. And I do know the numbers. I know every kid. I know what their options are. And I kind of listed down below what we have in place, because we will get to that 100 plus. That's our goal, and that's what we're going to do. So we have currently 237 that are at this point in time. The majority of those have met ACT benchmarks or a certification or passed an end-of-program test in one of our CTE courses in the past. But what we have going on now is we have EOP testing, which will be coming up here in another couple of weeks. So kids are going to be passing EOP tests. Folks at the Trailblazer Academy are now doing their industry certifications, so they're passing those certifications. We're working on math and reading Coyote, and we also have a lot of kids who are completing work hours. And you can also complete 300 work hours in a school year in order to be post-secondary ready. They want to show employability skills. They want to see that you can do those types of things. So those are all pieces that play into this particular piece. And again, it adds over, so we're going to pick a lot of kids up here in the next few weeks. And I gave you the current data, which is the 237, but I fully expect us to be at the 310 plus when we finish up. Thank you for your support, and I'll answer any questions you guys might have. There's not a lot going on at the high school. There's a little stuff, just a little bit going on.
Just a few kids.
Just a few.
Do a lot. Thank you for all you do.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Mr. Glass. Next up, we have purchases over $10,000. We have one item, vape detectors from Triton, 22 detectors, and licenses/subscription services in the amount of $35,319. It's 12 to go to the Anderson County Middle School and 10 to the Anderson County High School. Funds from the opioid abatement grant received by the youth service centers will be used for this purchase.
Are there any questions regarding this purchase?
I don't have any questions, but I do want to explain to the people why my vote is why it's going to be what it is. First of all, I'm tired of grants out there given not to educate children. I want to see money out there to educate children. I don't see putting vapor detectors in schools as a way to educate children on not to use a vape. The harm that a vape is doing to them. I would like to see them give grant monies for a campaign out here to educate children, a major campaign to educate children the harm of what they're doing, not to police them. And I'm going to vote no, but it's to send a message that it's time we to get money to educate with, not to buy to police. And that's my belief. Thank you all.
Can I get a motion to approve?
Motion approved, Scott Brown.
Second, Steve Carmichael.
With a first and second, can I get a roll call vote, please?
Yes, sir. Jason Collins?
Yes.
Scott Brown?
Yes.
Steve Carmichael?
Yes.
Sonny Fentrez? James Sargent?
No.
We can't control what they do outside the school. We can't control what they do inside the school.
Next up, we have shortened school day request. Beth Morgan Cook requests a shortened school day and/or week for a student. This request is based upon the recommendation of the individual's 504 committee for the student based on data from the current 504 plan and physician. The committee will continue to address the possibility of and plan for the student's return to full day.
Motion approved, Scott Brown.
Second, Steve Carmichael.
With the first and second, can I get a roll call vote, please?
Yes, sir. Jason Collins?
Yes.
Scott Brown?
Yes.
Steve Carmichael?
Yes.
Sonny Ventress? James Sargent?
Trip requests. I'll let y'all look over I guess we've got a couple. One for Anderson County High School, FCCLA, and for the Y Club. If no questions, can I get a motion to approve?
Motion to approve, Steve Carmichael.
Second, Scott Brown.
With the first and second, can I get a roll call vote, please?
Yes, sir. Jason Collins?
Yes.
Scott Brown?
Yes.
Steve Carmichael?
Yes.
Sonny Ventress? James Sargent?
Early graduation request. Consideration to approve an early graduation request for one student.
Motion approved, Scott Brown.
Second, Steve Carmichael.
With first and second, can I get a roll call vote, please?
Yes, sir. Jason Collins?
Yes.
Scott Brown?
Yes.
Steve Carmichael?
Yes.
Sonny Ventress? James Sargent?
Student accident insurance. Consideration to renew student accident insurance with Zurich Insurance, K&K, through Roberts Insurance Agency in the amount of $72,016.20. 3 quotes were obtained.
So we had 3 quotes, Zurich, Axis, and Hartford, and Zurich is the lowest, K&K, which we currently are purchasing through, and the amount is about the same as we're currently paying.
They kept it the same for a long time before they actually had to go up. Motion approved, Scott Brown.
Second, Steve Carmichael.
With the first and second, can I get a roll call vote, please?
Yes, can I just clarify?
Yeah.
For Zurich, K&K? Motion
Yes.
for Zurich, K&K. Thank you. Jason Collins?
Yes.
Scott Brown?
Yes.
Steve Carmichael?
Yes.
Sonny Ventress? James Sargent?
Donations over $1,000. Consideration to approve the following donations over $1,000. Saffel Street PTO to Saffel Elementary for reading resources, $2,000. Robert B. Turner PTO to Robert B. Turner Elementary for $13,782.
That is also for Lexia, as well as other resources.
Can I get a motion to approve?
Motion to approve, Steve Carmichael.
Second, Scott Brown.
With the first and second, can I get a roll call vote, please?
Yes, sir. Jason Collins?
Yes.
Scott Brown?
Yes.
Steve Carmichael?
Yes.
Sonny Ventress? James Sargent?
Amended calendar.
Thank you for hearing our considerations on calendar. A couple of changes that have been requested by our calendar committee recently. I'd like to bring some attention to those for you this evening. You'll notice in your package you have a survey that was sent out with considerations. There's 3 separate considerations. I'm going to focus on the first 2 only. The last one is for calendar 26-27, which won't be a part of the discussion this evening. Just calendar 24-25. There's 1 consideration on that, and then there's 2 considerations on the 25-26 calendar that I'd like for you to review this evening and hopefully consider to approve. Both of these 2 calendars, the 24-25 is the one we're functioning on right now. 1 consideration that was sent out in that calendar survey, which was responded to by 469 respondents. The first consideration there was to make the March 11th early release day a full day of school, to have use of full instruction. We've missed a lot of time. The calendar committee thought that was a wise consideration. 93% of the respondents in that survey agreed that that was a good consideration. It's my request that that time be moved to the end of the school year. If we need to use those banked hours for a snow event where we have to dismiss early, it can be used for that. The other consideration is to have an early release on the last day of school, should we not use that time. And that's for the 24-25 calendar. And the 25-26 calendar is already approved by you as well. There was a consideration that was brought up in our last calendar committee to remove early release days from that calendar, as they had previously been in that calendar. There were two of those, and the consideration was to remove those. And again, of the 469 respondents, 87%, 86.5% of the respondents approve that that's a consideration that we really need to make. The other consideration is not on the survey. It is more of a formality. It was an error on my part when I was speaking with Jason Denny in the original creation of this calendar. The election days were inverted. There are on the original calendar that we approved for 25-26 that had us out for November 4th election. It was actually inverted, and there is no election on November the 4th. However, there is a May election. Okay? So there's three actions that I'd like for you to consider for approval on the 24-25 calendar. That is to have a full day of school rather than an early release. 25-26 calendar is to remove early release days and allow us to submit an election day on May the 19th and take away the November the 4th that was on that approved calendar. And those are the considerations I'd like for you to consider this evening for approval and changes. I'm happy to answer any questions.
If no,
Travis does a great job of facilitating this committee and also making sure that folks in the system itself have the opportunity to respond. So he does a great job with this.
Agreed. Motion approved. Scott Brown.
Second, Steve Carmichael.
with the first and second, can I get a roll call vote, please?
Yes, sir. Jason Collins.
Yes.
Scott Brown.
Yes.
Steve Carmichael.
Yes.
Sonny Fentress. James Sargent.
Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion adjourned. Scott Brown.
Second, Steve Carmichael.
With the first and second, can I get a roll call vote, please?
Yes, Jason Collins.
Yes.
Scott Brown.
Yes.
Steve Carmichael.
Yes.
Sonny Fentress. James Sargent.
We are adjourned.